So we have an equilateral triangle, which means all three sides of the triangle are congruent. We have an isosceles triangle, where at least two of the sides are congruent. And then we have a scalene triangle where none of the sides are congruent. So in number 3, if we are looking at our triangle, the first triangle that we are going to look at is triangle BAE. So BAE has these tick marks, which means the sides are congruent. So that missing side length is 10. So because it has two congruent sides, this is an isosceles triangle. Triangle EAR has 3 different side measures, 7, 10, and 13. So because they are all different measures, it is going to be a scalene triangle. And then our last triangle is triangle BAR. So we have one side that's 17. If we add 10 plus 7, we get the other side is 17, and one side's 13. So it has two congruent sides, so it is an isosceles triangle. In number 4, when we look at our triangles, we see that there's a tick mark where the other two sides are 11, so the missing side length is also 11. So when I look at triangle CAR, it has 3 different side measures, so it is a scalene triangle. We have triangle ART, where all of the sides are the same measure, so it is an equilateral triangle. And then our last triangle is CRT, which has sides of 14, 11, and then 6 plus 11, which is 17. So all of them are different, so it is a scalene triangle. In number 5, the perimeter of triangle C is 53 inches. When we combine like terms, we get x squared plus 10x minus 3 equals 53. We can move the 53 over, so x squared plus 10x minus 56 equals 0. So we want two numbers that multiply to negative 56 and add to 10. So we have x plus 14 and x minus 4. When we switch our signs, x is negative 14 and x is 4. When we put negative 14 into minus 9, we get a negative number that's out, so we're only going to use 4. So we're going to plug 4 into all three sides. So 3 times 4 plus 6 is 18. 5 times 4 minus 9 is 11. And 4 squared plus 2 times 4 is 24. All the sides are different, so this is a scalene triangle. Triangle angle sum. So all the angles in a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. Here's why. If I draw a line that is parallel to the base, I can use my alternate interior angles to add 1 and 3 up to the top. Now, all of those angles, 1, 2, and 3 are forming a straight line, which is equal to 180 degrees. So we know that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 always has to equal 180 degrees. Based on that, we have two corollaries. So the first one is that the acute angles in a right triangle are equal to 90. Because if we already have a 90 degree, these two angles then also have to equal 90 degrees. And we also know then that in a triangle that is equilateral, so if it has 4 congruent sides or 3 congruent sides, it's also going to have 3 congruent angles. All of the angles are 60 degrees because 180 divided by 3 congruent angles gets us 60 degrees. So number 6, we want to solve for x and classify the angle by its sides. So we can add these sides to equal angles to equal 180. So 13x plus 88 plus 4x plus 12 plus 6x plus 34 equals 180. So when we combine like terms, we get 23x plus 134 equals 180. So we can subtract 134 from both sides. 23x is equal to 46. So when we divide, x is 2. Once we know x is 2, we can find our angles. So 4 times 2 plus 12 is 20 degrees. 6 times 2 plus 34 is 46 degrees. And 13 times 2 plus 88 is 114. Because we have an angle that's greater than 90, this would be an obtuse triangle. Number 7, we want to find our missing angles. So we're going to start with the triangle that has 2 angles so far. So we can subtract from 180. So 180 minus 62 minus 43 will get us 75 degrees. To get x, we know that 75 and x form a straight line. So 180 minus 75 gets us 105. We also know that w and y are vertical angles, so they are congruent. So we know that y is 75. And then to get z, we can subtract 48 and 75 from 180 to get 57 degrees. In number 8, we want to find the missing values to get x. So I can look at one triangle at a time here. So if I look at the first triangle, I can subtract those two angles, 41 and 53, from 180 to get 86 degrees. If I look at the other triangle with the 72 and the 61, I can subtract those from 180 to get 47. Now I can focus on that little triangle where the triangles overlap. If I subtract those angles from 180, I get 47 degrees. So 47 and x are vertical angles, so x is 47 degrees. Check your work for number 1 and number 2 to make sure that your answers are correct. Please pause the video if you need more time to check your answers. So looking at this triangle then, we have a triangle with 3 angles and 1 angle on the outside. So the interior angles are angles that are on the inside of the triangle. So our interior angles are angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3. Exterior angles are angles that are formed by extending the side of the triangle and are outside of the triangle, so that would be angle 4. The remote interior angles are the 2 interior angles that do not touch the exterior angle. So if our exterior angle is angle 4, that means that angle 1 and angle 2 are going to be our remote interior angles. So the exterior angle theorem is that the sum of the 2 remote interior angles are equal to the exterior angle. So here's why. So if we look at the picture, we have a triangle where angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3 are equal to 180 because that forms a triangle. We also know that angle 3 plus angle 4 equal 180 because they form a straight line. So if we subtract angle 3 over, we have the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180 minus the measure of angle 3. If we do that in the other equation, we have the measure of angle 4 equals 180 minus the measure of angle 3. Notice that this part is the same of the equation, so we can take the other two parts by substituting. We get that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to the measure of angle 4. So we want to solve for x. So number 1, the exterior angle, 13x plus 9, is equal to the interior angles, 50 plus 9x plus 13. So we get 13x plus 9 is equal to 9x plus 63. We can subtract 9x from both sides, so we get 4x plus 9 equals 63. We can subtract 9 from both sides, 4x equals 54. And when we divide by 4, x is 13.5. In number 2, our exterior angle is 2x plus 98. So we can set that equal to 8x plus 90. So we get 2x plus 98 is equal to 8x plus 90. We can subtract 2x. 98 is equal to 6x plus 90. We can subtract 90 on both sides. 8 equals 6x. So when we divide, we get 4/3. In